Hey guys, Huz here. I said I was going to bring a full gameplay sometime, and I thought I'd show this match. It's a match that me and my friends did while warming up to do rank. This is a normal, but the skill level of our opponents are to the same kind of us. My lane opponent was Platinum 4, I believe, who is Jarvan, and it's a pretty good match. There's quite a lot of ups and downs, good things, bad things, that type of thing. So we're going to go through it. Now, the comp we've decided to run is kind of a poke comp. We really did want to get Caitlyn, but the enemy kind of secured it. But we've kind of denied what we believe they were trying to go for anyway. We're surprised that they didn't go for Lux with a Caitlyn, because either if you run a Caitlyn, you kind of want to run a Lux or a Nidalee, that type of thing, to help with the poke. Now our comp relies on me throwing Nidalee spears, getting them low, Jace using his EQ combo to poke down, and then when they engage on us, they should be at relatively low health, and we should be able to just clean them up in, team fights, as we have Maokai with his ult. So when Jarvan is, he's going to do less damage with his ult, and we should win team fights generally if we can poke beforehand.
Minions have spawned.
I'd also make a note at the starting items of everybody in the game. As you notice, nobody in the game has started boots. I've said this in a couple of other videos, but with Season 3, there's no need to start boots. AD carries, you either can go Longsword 2-pot, or you can go Doran's Blade if you're a bit more confident in your ability. As you can see, both the ADs have decided to go for the Doran's Blade, which is I'd probably say it's the best choice on every single AD carry currently. Mid lane, I've decided to go for a bit of sustain. I've gone for 3 health pot, 3 mana pots, because I know I'm going to probably try and have to poke the Jarvan so he doesn't engage on me all the time. Where the Jarvan's gone for the well, not really standard, but he's gone for the standard fortitude pot. But he hasn't picked up a ward, which you normally do if you're an AD mid. Well, you normally do that if you're a mid anyway, but he hasn't picked up the ward. Now, top lane, they stole our red. Obviously, they've left a couple of minions, but then they went to go gank our Jace straight away. It was an unsuccessful gank on their part. Sorry. Our Jace lived with both summoners up, so pretty good on him, wasting the Malphite's time. Our Maokai in the same time stealing their red, so both the junglers would have had the enemy's red and their own blue. Now, I will just point out my setup on Nidalee. I have gone quite heavy armor because I'm against a Jarvan, and obviously even he has armor pen on his Q, but I really need the armor to try and survive. I might be missing a few CS here and there because generally at this point I have a bit more AP. On Nidalee I start with 23 AP, and I've only got 20 at level 3, so I'm generally about 6-7 lower than I should be, so that is slightly affecting my CS, and I'm used to CSing with the spell sword ability, which is 5% of your AP goes into your auto attacks, and I try and CS when the lowest point possible. Now, something to note is bot lane. Caitlyn is normally one that pushes their enemy to the tower and pokes. The best combo with Caitlyn we find is Lulu. That's why we took Lulu away from Caitlyn, as that lane is a nightmare to deal with. And we chose MF because she's a really good duelist, and with Jarvan jumping in, if we can get MF out of the Jarvan ult and then ulting in, that should be a lot of damage on their team, on their own part. That's Jarvan's fault, basically. The top lane is a gank going on, and, for now, Jace lives and our Maokai lives, which is good. Maokai's trying to clear the wave, but unfortunately I think our top lane was looking at base or something, and yeah, there's first blood. Now I'm roaming up, trying to try and find something. If I can kill Maokai, that would be good. Not Maokai. If I can kill Malphite, that would be good, because that will be their buffs off the map. But I have Jarvan on my tail, and as you can see, he does a lot of damage. I missed 2 spears, which is really bad on my part, and now Jarvan, I believe, he's tower diving me, burn flash, but I managed to get Malphite. And unfortunately, I don't get any hits on Jarvan. If I were to get anything on Jarvan, that would have been a double kill for me, but fair play on the Jarvan. But I managed to get their buffs off the field. So at this current point, we still have our Rud buff on the field, where the enemy team has nothing. Now I've picked up my tier because I believe Nidalee on a poke champion tier is a good option. I'm someone that really is against building tier on everything. People build tier on APs all the time, and I'm against tier on a champion that isn't kind of a poke champion or needs just the sustain. If you just need casual sustain, then I prefer Morellonomicon or a Athene's, because you don't need that much sustain on, say, an Orianna. I don't like tier on Orianna at all. I prefer Athene's on her, or Morellonomicon, depending what your lane opponent or their team is. And I will say about Morellonomicon, a lot of people wonder when to build it. I build it if my opponent, scales off healing. So if I'm against an APE or something that builds Will of the Ancients. It's rare to build Will of the Ancients now, but I'd still build it if someone does. Some actions going top lane. Unfortunately, Jace is so he can't really trade. There's a gank going on bottom lane. But also, as I was saying about Morellonomicon, I'd also build it if they're an AD heavy team generally. As obviously Morellonomicon does affect their lifesteal. It's all healing effects by 40%, I believe. So their lifesteal will be taken out by 40%, which is quite a good, it's a big hit to them if they rely on it quite heavily. Now, this is just the first transfer of blue buff this game. I ward here just in case, they're trying to do a sneaky steal, as I need this blue buff as a Nidalee to try and help stack my tier. And obviously Nidalee as a general AP mid, I really love it. It's one of my favourite mids, and with stacking tier it's really easy. You just jump in Cougar form and you can just spam your W and E, and I'll be scaling up your tier. Free mana, free of charge of mana. It doesn't cost anything. Maokai just scouting their red, and it just spawned. Now I'm not sure if Maokai knows that Malphite, is doing it. There's not much going on in the game at this current point. Everybody's kind of just farming, trying to keep the enemy off them as such. Now Jace is a bit strong at the moment, but there are minions helping on both sides. Now that was really close. She's on 6 health. That is, I wouldn't say lucky. I'll just say unfortunate for Jace. I'll just get a bit of a closer look up the skin, because I know a lot of people haven't actually seen the skin yet. It reminds me of kind of Kerrigan from StarCraft 2. I believe that's why it's kind of out at this time, because it has a slight resemblance to her, and obviously Heart of the Swarm has recently come out. The sound effects are pretty damn cool, and I really like the cat form. It is my favourite Nidalee skin, but it's my favourite cat form as well. I'm just getting free poke on the Jarvan. I constantly have to try and keep him low, because if he does engage on me at this current point, he'll kill me. I don't have enough armor to fight against him in just a brawl, because they got rid of the armor on Nidalee Cougar, which actually, it kind of nerfed her. It didn't nerf her against normal lane opponents, but it nerfed her against AD opponents, and generally it nerfed her in team fights, because if you're in a team fight in Cougar, then, you know, you're going to be swishier. There's a gank going on down bottom. And MFO manages to get the kill, which is brilliant. Now the Caitlyn just greeded there quite badly, flashing in for the kill, but unfortunately I don't think she dies. Oh, she does. That was a good play by MF, but he might have just killed himself, but he might have been dead anyway. And these two should be running away straight away. There you go, good trade. It was a 2-for-1, unless Lulu dies. But no, they're fine. There's another fight going on top, as top lane. A lot of people know top lane is quite a snowbally lane. If you get a couple kills behind, then it's really hard to catch up. It's two ways you can play top lane, but it's kind of both of you have to kind of agree in a way. You either just have a farm fest where you don't really touch each other. Maybe you only touch each other with ganks. I've seen this the last couple of days. I had a Cho'Gath versus a Nasus top. I personally didn't play it, but all they did was farm. Both of them were quite big late game. We managed to win that game. We had the Cho'Gath, and he just basically became unkillable, where their Nasus, for some odd reason, decided to go eye edge. His Q's hit a lot, but we just managed to burst him straight away because he wasn't tanky enough. Now this is something that we make a mistake on. We have no vision of Dragon. They have a pink ward, so you know that's probably how they got rid of our vision. But we had made no attempt to regain vision of this, so they get a free dragon without us even realizing. And then they roam bot. Now again, there's only a ward in Tribush, so they don't even know they're here. And this happens. Now for bottom, I'm manically trying to push mid. Maokai tries to come in and intercept. Manages to get one kill, but there's still three of them whacking, you know, right on top of him. Now at this point, I've decided to come down and try and help. Just to get a good spear off. Got one of them. Now that was kind of a poor spear. I'm praying at this point that she tries to fight me. If she tries to fight me, I'll kill her quite easily. But no. Not at this present time anyway. Now if I knew Jarvan was there, I would obviously throw a spear or something, but I had no idea. And maybe that's the point where on Nidalee I maybe need to put traps further deeper into the jungle, and then I might have spotted Jarvan. He's doing wraiths on 180 odd health. That's easily one of my spears. My spear base damage is like 130, 120, so with range it will do a lot more. Oh wait, that was in Cougar form. And Malphite returns bottom for another gank and manages to kill the MF, which is unfortunate. I missed the spear, but we're both thinking we should be able to kill, you know, have a good kill potential here because their damage is running away half the time. I'm trying to get in a position that I can do pop that. So now I'm on a killing spree. And now we go for the Malphite, who is rather tanky, to say the least. Yeah, he's way too tanky for us at the current point. Just look at the gold a second. Yeah, I've got 1600 gold on me. Like, that's a lot of gold to just keep. Like, there Caitlyn just spent. But I need to base. Picking up the blue buff, which will help me stack more tier. Like, I'm already at 556 at 14 odd minutes, which is pretty good. But as a Nidalee, you should be, you know, fairly high. That's why you get an early Archangel, which obviously gets the upgraded version rather easily. I'm just pushing mid. Took a spear to the face. Now I'm thinking at this current point, if he takes one more spear, I can jump on him and Cougar, but I'm not entirely sure if he has ult up. Now you can see he doesn't, but I don't know this. I mean, I'm not fully. I don't know when the last time he ulted, and I'm not entirely sure the Malphite ult cooldown because I don't. Well, I have played him in the past, but I haven't played him in a long time, like properly. I managed to get mid tower, which is a pretty good tower to get. It opens the map completely, so now we have free roam all this section. The only thing countering that roam would be the Jarvan's rather strong, and the one thing I'd actually call out of this Jarvan is he puts sort of the Occult, so that kind of tells he's a bit cocky. He's only 2-on-1, and he's behind me in CS, so I think that's a rather bad pickup, and I kill him. Now, I can see the Janus low because she just walked through a ward, so I'm hoping God Spear, and no. And the Elise is actually roaming down. So we're telling our Jace at this current point to push that tower. And this is a mistake on my bad, because he flashes and Malphite ults right on top of me. A bit excessive, because both did the same job. He flashed and then used Malphite ult basically where he was standing. So he could have just Malphite ulted over, and it would probably be a fairly easy ult to hit. But yeah, they get my blue, and they get my... I think they get my spree. Yeah, they get my spree, which was 500 gold. So, quite a lot of gold for one kill. I pick up the Zhonya's because generally I really do not want the Jarvan to jump on me. If he jumps on me, still, I'm dead. The only thing I have, like when I killed Jarvan then, I managed to hit a spear which got me quite a lot of damage on him straight away. And it's if they run away from me. If they fight me at this current point, I don't know if I'll be able to brawl kill them. Where if they run away from me, I can chuck spears, I can pounce and swipe, all that type of stuff, and I should be able to pick up kills that way. I do a lot of damage to this Jarvan. Don't manage to get the kill, but obviously he has to back. And at this point I'm fairly confident now that I actually can kill the Jarvan, but you could see again he engaged on me but immediately regretted it with my damage. And then started running away from me, so I could just keep getting free damage on him. Now, as you can see, our Jace just pinged that. Don't know where they are. So I'm just, trying to burst down their Malphite because our team's doing Dragon. If they have a low jungler, they can't really fight. I hit a spear on the Caitlyn, which it gets her rather low. And then again, he ults right on top of me. But I managed to get back to my team. Managed to hit an okay spear, but this fight is not looking good for us. We're split. And oh, I said this is still alive. But then I find Malphite here. I don't know why he was here. Like, he's not that strong compared to me. So I pick up a free kill. Yeah, that was pretty bad play on his part. He kind of split from his team going up on fairly low health. I went up this way, went around, just found him in this bush and killed him. Now there might be diving bottom lane, but I doubt it. Lulu is a really hard champion to, dive, especially when she has wild growth. Now, at this whole time that's been happening, we managed to get this turret, which is pretty good. Good job by our Jace. I'm pressuring the bot tower. Can't get it on this wave, but in the next few waves, if no interruptions come with junglers or anything, but here comes an interruption. Their top laner is roaming. Now, obviously, we know they're there because we have a ward here. They think they think that we don't know they're there, but we do. So this is just time wasting currently for the Elise. Now I'm pressuring the Jarvan. And then this happens. His damage, I managed to juke his ult, but yeah.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
At this current point I was rather confused, as before I kind of was beating him in most fights. But as you can see, then he wasn't running away from me, he directly fought me, and because I was fairly confident at this point, I directly fought him in Cougar form. With a nerf of Cougar form with less armor, I was squishy as hell to him. With Ignite, he managed to easily pick up the kill on me. Which is kind of bad because he got another Sword of the Occult stack and he's up to 6 now. We're not out of the game at this point. They are ahead in kills, but we're not out of the game because our comp relies kind of on late game siege. Just siege them. And the one thing I will say about this Malphite that I think is kind of poor is he does Malphite ults right next to the target, where he should queue them, try to stay next to them, or if they use flash, then use it. And then we turn the fight, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up some kills. They get another kill on the Jarvan, but at the Jace, but at this point he's 0-5, so he isn't really worth a lot, and we're just telling him just to keep pushing top. He's not really worth any gold. They'll probably get like 60. Ooh, probably get about 60 gold per kill on him or something around them lines. Maybe a bit more. This is kind of where our team strength lies, just sieging them. Hopefully hitting a few spears. And if they do engage on us, hopefully there'll be less health, like that spear. And then we'll be able to kill them in a team fight. Now, we don't know what this Malphite was doing, as he kind of just wandered out, took free damage.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And then the rest of their team kind of turns up. So we try and back out. Now at this point we kind of know they're going to go for the Lulu. She's squishy, she's kind of the weakest target. But here we go, I'm kind of pressuring their two people down here, so they're up there, it's 3v2, but unfortunately they're kind of strong. I managed to hit a good spear on the Janna, so I'm hoping to go for the kill, and I get it. And it's just the Caitlyn, which I'm pretty confident I'll be able to kill if she actually tries to fight me. Hit a good spear. She gets the net on me. As Cougar, I'm able to, pounce and keep up quite well. And a Malphite ult again. I think that's the 4th Malphite ult he's done on me personally, just one person. This Malphite doesn't really like to ult groups. He just saves it for one person. Up here he used it on MF once, and he's used it 2 times in the mid lane, just on me, and again just on me here, which you can do. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing to do, but if a team fight broke out relatively soon, if I came up and then we said okay, group mid, he won't have his ult up for the whole team, and that would probably cost them the fight. And they're just seeing if there's anything possible bot lane, but no. Generally, you don't really want to engage anything if you don't know where half their team is, or all their team. And we know where these guys are, and they're bottom again. The Elise does quite a good job of roaming. She is 4-1-3, so she has done quite a good job this game. Now we're kind of contemplating to fight over dragon. Now, as you can see, because the Malphite ulted me alone, he doesn't have ult up yet, and we kind of know this. So we're just trying to hit spears, and we do actually want to engage a fight rather soon. So our Maokai is about to engage a fight, hopefully. And yeah, see, they don't have Malphite up now. They have it now, but he doesn't use it straight away because we get him low. He uses it on 3 of us. But at that point, it doesn't really matter because we win the fight. Basically due to the Malphite not having his ult up straight away because he only ulted me before. Now we're just looking to clean them. Trying to just get the ace because they're doing dragon, they're fine. I'm trying to give our Jace a kill. I go for the spear but let the Jace finish it off. So that fight we got 4 of them and a dragon. And none of us died, so that was a huge turnaround for the game. Hit quite big spears and Jace. That's kind of what our comp is revolved around. If we had Caitlyn as well, even better, because then we'd Caitlyn, say if that was an MF, that AD, that Caitlyn, then we'd have Caitlyn ulting that target, and if they're not dead, they'd have to base. 100% they'd have to base. So that's basically either a team fight won, or a tower taken, or an objective taken like Baron or something, where they're too low to fight us. If they do fight us, then it's 4v5, because the AD will be either get popped instantly or have to base. Now I'm taking this blue, and I actually do have vision of this Elise. I don't actually remember how. I think it was from a Nidalee trap, or it may have been this ward that she might have been coming around. They've just seen that we've taken dragon, because they don't have a ward here. As you see, we've got a pink here now. And they're in our jungle. Malphite misses. And again, as you can see, he tries to ult right on top of people. If he saved it for when actually Jace flashed to here. If Malphite didn't ult until he used flash, then he could have ulted the Jace, and then at least probably would have picked up the kill. So that's a tendency this Malphite, you know, I don't know this Malphite, but that's one thing I would say he would have to work on. Now it's another team fight. You feel fairly confident, and Malphite again used his ult to try and kill a single person. So we know this is a team fight that we should win. Now I'm getting quite a lot of attention because obviously I'm doing quite a lot of damage output. And I use Zhonya's because I'm scared of the Caitlyn might ult me or something, but she doesn't. And finish off the kill style. So there's 2 team fights won just because of their Malphite. Because he used the ult bottom on me here, just on one person, and then he missed his ult here because he only wanted to use it on one person again. Malphite is an ult that you really want to save for a team fight. It's a huge game-changing ult, and this Malphite isn't doing that. Now I know they're going to do Baron. I kind of do a failed jump there, but I want to see if their blue's up. We have no vision of it, and it's not, unfortunately. I would have loved a refresher on my blue. Obviously my tier now is fully stacked, but still the CDR and the mana regen is rather nice. Now here's kind of a mistake from our Maokai, unfortunately. We kind of misunderstand. He kind of doesn't look at the timers of when they come back up, and obviously they came back up and they've kind of caught him. Luckily he gets out, he does burn his flash, and I managed to chunk the Elise, so it's an okay trade, I suppose. And now we've got Baron buff, our comp comes kind of into play of sieging with Baron buff, as if they poke us back or if they try and engage on us, we disengage and then you know, fight them. When we get regened with Baron, then we go back in, siege a bit more. Now this game was completely turned, you have to remember, by the dragon fight over here. Well, these 2 dragon fights over here, simply because the Malphite didn't have ult. Managed to hit a good Nidalee spear, managed to hit a couple of Jace pokes, and that kind of turned the game. So now we're ahead in gold by quite a generous amount, and we're ahead in kills, where we were down on kills, if you remember. I managed to get a good kill, a good poke on the Elise, so now she's basically dead if she comes into a team fight. And here we go again, another team fight. Pretty good MF ult, manages to get them fairly low, and obviously they're running away from us now. The Malphite actually ults, and I think that's the only ult, apart from one he did here, late, that he hits more than like one of us. And there's a surrender vote, simply because we turned the game around. Obviously the bad things were the Jarvan built sort of the Occult. Nearing the end of the game he only had 2 stacks. So that's one thing he shouldn't have done. It would be a much better pick if he, I don't know, bought Ruined Blade or Bloodthirster, that type of thing. It would have been a much more effective item, sort of the Occult. But yeah, game turned around. Pretty good game overall. This was not even a ranked, this was a warm-up for us for ranked. We did, I think, 1 or 2 ranked games after this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, subscribe, like up, and everything like that. So see you next time.